everybody, it's me. I'm not the Puppetine. I'm the frog. That's the Puppetine. Good Puppetine.
I'm not a dog.
Well, I said you're good, but if you want me to call you a dog, I will. Hold on, I got a leash somewhere.
No. Get back here. Hello,
Okay.
everybody. My name is Puppetine from I Love Puppets. Here today on I Love Puppets with Froggy. Yes, today to talk about some Stargirl. If you didn't see the snazzy intro there. Nice title card.
Yeah, my opening, yeah.
It wasn't your opening.
Well, yeah, I said, hey, everybody, it's me.
No. The title card before that where it popped up said Stargirl because that's what we're reviewing today on I Love Puppets.
I didn't see that.
Oh, you didn't? Oh,
no.
Well, it's fine. It's fine. You know, this show has been great. And then now we're on season 2, episode 4.
Holy crap. Hold on before we go any further. Grotto's in the chat. Grotto, how's it going? Grotto's in the chat, bro. This guy hangs out with Graphic Man, Old Man Eric Green, and a few others.
Oh, well, hello to you, Grotto. It's nice to meet you. Yes, you're joining us just in time for our recap and review of Stargirl episode 4.
Yeah, and for those who don't know, this guy has a channel. Go check out his channel. Awesome guy. Has a lot of stuff, a lot of cool stuff.
Absolutely. Now, I think we better get right into it and explain what this episode is about. Go straight in, dig into the meat. I'm good. So is Froggy. Yes, and we're excited, aren't we?
I'm very excited. Actually, an actual decent show on the CW, and it actually pays respect to the original source material.
Yeah. I mean, out of all the shows that are on the CW, we have had Superman Lois that was really good. Took some major departures though from the comic lines. But this is just purely, you can feel the love that's poured into this show. It's great.
Yes.
You want to go? What? I'm going to go for you. Do you want to start us off with our recap?
Well, I just want to point out that I have favorite characters in here, and I didn't think I realized I knew that I had. Is Shade. Shade is amazing in this. Not only that, Sportsmaster. Sportsmaster is just funny. Even Stripesy, Pat Dugan. Just the interaction between these adults, it's amazing, because for those who watch us or who haven't watched us, you look at it's another teen angst, group of kids. No, the adults actually have their own scenes in here too. So and it's not over the top and this kind of why am I watching this? No, it's actually solid editing and cut scenes and stuff, and just dialogue I love it. I just feel like a kid watching just reading Jeff Johns' 1999 Stars and Stripes run. But starting out the recap, I'm so excited. I forgot the beginning. I think the beginning is I know this never happens. I'm never in charge. What is this?
We literally just saw it.
I know.
But I'm having trouble too. Yeah. I mean, it starts off right with them getting ready to figure out what to do about Eclipso. We see Pat and his wife in the kitchen, and they're trying to decide, should we tell Courtney
about the Eclipso and everything, and she walks in, she's like, what about Eclipso? And Pat's like, what do you mean, what about Eclipso? How do you know that name? And she's like, well, the new Dr. Midnight, forgot what her name is. Dang it. This is a bad night. I think we're just starstruck by seeing Grotto in the chat. Yeah. That's true. Zach's not here. Zach
is our name man. He remembers all the names somehow. And
so anyway, she's the new legacy character. In the last episode, she was hanging out with Rex Tyler, the son of Rick, or is it Rex or Rick? I can't remember which one's the son.
He's our man. That's all that matters.
Okay. Sorry.
Deep breath. I can feel your excitement. You need to take a deep breath. Yes, because they found out in the last episode with them together that Eclipso is coming. Eclipso is coming. He's already there. And so Courtney, in a scene we haven't seen, learned about it from the new Dr. Midnight. And so they share a little information, and they go from there. And the kids are studying on their own. They're going through books. They learn of a man named Bruce Gordon, who apparently went to Diablos Island, as it's called, went straight there. And he somehow was the only person who ever managed to make it back.
With the diamond. The last time, and as the new Dr. Midnight or Legacy Girl points out, the map for the island, is last seen is 1832. After that, the island does not appear in any of the maps. It's almost like they wanted to hide it. But I like it. I like that as we learn more about Eclipso, it did tell us his background. Basically, like he's like the epitome. He's a demon. There was 2 tribes on that island a long time ago, and when they're fighting, one summoned like a demon and tried to harm us to do the almost described as the black diamond, and that's where he comes, and that's because it's no longer on the map because Eclipso wiped out everybody on there. As we see before, he can basically he uses your hate against you, and then he feeds off it, and you just turn in like dust particles, like we see with Thanos, and you just wish away.
Yes, a lot like that. But speaking of hate and anger, you know who we should talk about?
We don't know, Eric. We only know because Courtney found a book. We're doing research with her friends, and this guy was a famous traveler and an author, and he that's all he knew. They learned about him.
This is my favorite part. This is my favorite part right there. Because after they discuss the information they know, that Bruce Gordon was the only person who ever returned from Diablos Island with the Black Diamond. Nobody has heard of anything about him since. She goes to a used bookstore called the House of Secrets, and it's done in that old comic logo style. It's beautiful. It's
great, but before that, we get a little joke because the son, the new power, how do you call him Power Man? I hate this. There's too many freaking heroes. Rex Tyler, he basically, Rick. He's actually his name. Sorry, Rex is his dad, I believe. And Rick goes, and he basically says, like, you know what? Because they're at the diner. We're basically the new Wildcat. She works there at Richie's. So we're getting Richie's, and they all decide they'll go leave and do stuff. He's like, well, I gotta go feed my dog. And it's Dr. Midnight, she's like, oh, what kind of dog you? A big dog. And the only reason she asked because he said, like, I need like a dozen cheeseburgers and like a dozen fries to go. Yes. He says it to the Wildcat girl who's working as a waitress. And kind of looks at him like, for those who don't know us, he's feeding Grundy. Grundy's living out in the woods. The fact that nobody's come across Grundy in the woods, this must be like up in like Vermont or something or New Hampshire where there's like nobody there. But this is mostly Nebraska. How do you freaking hide in the woods in Nebraska if you're Grundy?
I don't know. You'd have to ask Solomon Grundy. But
I can't. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday stuff.
Anyway, that leads us quickly to that bookstore that I said. And the Shade Star is there. And he's talking to Courtney. He starts explaining that it's not everything that it seems. He's not there to team up with Eclipso. He's trying to find him and drop him in the deepest ocean he can find so that no one is ever hurt by him again.
He explains that the fact that Pat hasn't told you everything. Because she's like, well, you killed Dr. May. He's like, I never killed him. He's like, he's like, he points out, you say it with such conviction, almost like if you were there. She's like, well, Pat was there. Pat's like, he's like, yeah, but things aren't always what they seem. They keep dropping hints that that he didn't kill Dr. Midnight. They almost says Dr. Midnight might be alive. Because as far as we know, because we don't, all we know is that we have the goggles. We're going with what the goggles said, and we assume it's the AI program. What's really cool about this is he says, like, why would I want to team up with that? There's you gotta realize there's bad and then there's evil. I kill people that deserve it, as he said. People who deserve it are the ones who I killed. I don't go around and like, oh, this guy gave me a bad milkshake. You're dead. No. And I do love the fact that, like, he said something about sports and how he detests it, and I kept thinking, it's like, because or no, that's not what it was. No,
it's the other way around. No. And you know what? This is time. Deep breath. I'll let you explain it when we get there. It's time for the subplot. So Artemis Croc, her parents are in jail, and she's having a real hard time. She has a terrible foster mother, and so it's the day of the tryouts. Her parents break out of prison, and they go to Mike, who's delivering papers, and they take him to the pit stop, and they lure quickly Pat there, and they explain, well, we broke out and we left some breadcrumbs, so they think we're headed to Miami. We just want to watch our daughter try out for football. Yep. And they have to help. And this leads to them taking them home, and just these characters all connecting. It was always one of my favorite things. Sportsmaster, whenever he would talk to Pat about, you need to get in shape, man. You got to get in shape. And in this episode, he talks about, you lost the program. That's why you're looking so shabby. And we get the moms connecting.
Yes, bonding over the daughters. Saying how both the daughters, Pat's wife says, like, when Courtney says something, it does something, she does, she puts her mind, and you can't talk to her. And, like, that's what Artemis' mom says the same thing. Yep, she's stubborn. And they realize they're kind of bonding a little bit. And then,
hey, did we just become best friends? But that's when we quickly go back to Pat, and he's asking about the ISA. Is he talking to anybody like the Shade? And this is where I pass it over to Froggy.
And his Shade said, or the Pat says, I freaking hate that guy. So this is new, guys. Where's this freaking top hat? It's from the 1800s, and it says, my outfit's ridiculous. He hates sports. And for those who don't realize, we have a friend named Dalton who has a hat, and he hates sports. I instantly got Dalton vibes. I couldn't. Sorry, we love you, Dalton. And it's just like reminded me of the whole sports ball comments, like sports ball. yes, and Maranya, sports ball.
Sports ball with Eric Green.
Eric Green would be Sportsmaster, and Dalton would be the Shade, if this was real. I'm sorry. Continue. As I focus, I'm getting focused.
No, that's fine. Are you able to hear me?
I can hear you. Why?
You're able to hear me?
Yeah, you're freezing a little bit. Anyway, so
okay, that's good, because for season
you're freezing up. Okay. Anyway, I'm gonna continue with whatever I'm talking about, because I don't know if you're gonna fade in or fade out or go into the darkness. And because I don't want you joining me here, I like you here by myself. Anyway.
Rude. I'm cutting out. Anyway, as we were saying, from there, they quickly go to practice. And from there, we see who else but Sydney. She's trying to recruit kids. She's trying to get them all involved in this new ISA. Don't do crime, kids. But quickly from there, she uses Eclipso to warp the mind of Artemis. Because as the parents are cheering her on, and that it really boosts her up. She's performing well. Actually, she's performing better than well. She has like some super sports abilities.
I've never seen a girl I've never seen a girl throw a football from like halfway down, from the 50-yard line all the way to the end zone. And and to say this, it's just she's throwing it like you could tell she's got like the rookie of the year kind of arm. She also, so basically they're hinting that she has super strength, because they're trying to say that she's at top physical human peak condition because her parents trained her. I don't know. But I guess we'll see what happens because earlier we saw her crush an apple that Courtney gave her with her bare hand with one hand crush it. So yeah. So it's like I don't know. I mean, if she has powers, that's cool, But my thing with with Artemis, I've only known her from like the Young Justice and her, and also in comic books where she was basically like a Green Arrow protege. She didn't have any super strength. Her mom wanted her to have a better life. Their mom was in jail. Courtney hated her. Or not, sorry, Artemis hated her dad because of a villain. So she became like a protege, like a Green Arrow, almost like a Speedy. But
well, we'll have to see which way she takes after this. During the practice, Sydney uses Eclipso to warp the mind of Sydney, and instead of seeing Courtney there looking up at her parents, she sees some armed men. They all have guns and they're clear as day, all standing there. Nobody notices
as their parents are sitting down, like next to her, next to Pat, and they're like I'm thinking like, I guess she's just a kid. She doesn't really understand it, but I'm thinking like, if I saw that, I'm like, oh no, my parents are gonna get shot. Why haven't they noticed anything? Like they would have noticed the guy with a freaking rifle, and SWAT guy. Nobody else is. Oh my gosh! No, yeah, it's. So she basically sees this, and even Courtney, who basically walked in, saw that Pat was sitting with with Artemis's folks, who did not know that they were hanging out. She was gonna go confront him. She's by the fence, looking up at the bleachers, and then she's mistaken for being a SWAT guard or police. And Artemis just runs like, "You're not gonna take my parents!" And tackles her. So it's like banging her head against the grass. I'm thinking like, wow. Yeah. So that. Yeah. So we got to see a little more cat fight.
Well, yes, but then they're pulled away. As Pat would say, a good old-fashioned cat fight.
yeah, right?
Yeah, but they get her off. The team gets her off of Courtney, and from there, well, she has good practice, and it seems like she crushed it. And she says goodbye to her parents because her parents say she has a great and promising career ahead of her, but they will hold her back. And so they need to say goodbye. And that's what they do.
And I want to point out, if this would have been Supergirl, she would have stormed down and be like, no, you never listen to me. You always do what you want to do, blah, blah, blah. And instead, no, she stood there, she cried, and she accepted and hugged her parents. But it was weird, though, that... I don't know. It was... Well, I was going to say this, though. It was kind of weird, though. She was up there on the bleachers. Courtney leaves with Pat and Arts and folks. I thought Courtney would have went up to me and like, you know what? Hey, if you want, you can stay with us for a while. No? But instead, no, they left it.
I'm really surprised.
Because Courtney's supposed to be a positive influence, always wanting to help people. So yes, she ends up being recruited by Sydney at her locker, and she's like, hey, you want to join the team? But
yes, because Artemis was denied. She was not, even though her tryout was great, her anger issues made it so that they said no. She's not a part of the team. They can't represent.
And before this, I also want to point out too, but we skipped over a part where the Pied Piper's son was also recruited by Sydney, and he was shown his dad, and then his mom was killed last season. I forgot the exact way, but she's no longer.
She was killed by Tigress.
Oh yeah. Well, that's gonna be funny when he finds out.
Because Artemis they were supposed to work together, but Tigress and Sportsmaster couldn't stand her. So, boom.
Yeah. So anyway, so he sees the Sydney gives him the violin. He's like, I can't play this. I'm like, yeah, you can't. Give him a freaking flute so he can be the Pied Piper.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't disagree. But from there, we get just a few more scenes because, well, the new Dr. Midnight is trying to work on Chuck, her goggles. However, it seems that it's not working, but she taps in. Huh? Oh, Chuck, it's you. But no, even though the guy is talking to her and we hear the voice,
yeah,
it's the real Charles McNider. Ah!
Yeah, he's alive. Yes. He's dead. He said he's trapped inside the shadow realm. They see Shade trapped him inside the shadows. Because all we saw in the very first episode of the first season, he got dragged away by the shadows out a door. We never saw him being ripped apart or mold. No. Mm-hmm. So everybody assumed he's dead. And I think this is actually a smart decision by them to bring back more people. Because bringing in Shade is a great idea. Because Shade, the actor is just awesome. Shade's a great character. Shade's also been proven in the 90s Starman, where Ted Knight's son took over. He was the head of the journal by Shade. We found out more about him. So we learned more that Shade's just kind of like a misunderstood villain. You know?
Yeah. As he says in this episode, there's a difference between bad and evil. Mm-hmm. Yep. But I think that about does it. We're looking forward to the next episode. We don't have any clear path, but we know where we're heading.
Oh yeah. Also, Courtney found out that what's his name? McNider's daughter was killed by Eclipso.
10-year-old daughter.
10-year-old daughter, which we saw in the very first episode. That was a little girl. We had no idea who it was at first, unless you knew the name McNider. It took me a minute to figure out.
I did know the name McNider, so
yeah. So it's kind of personal and stuff, and we also find out that Pat didn't tell Courtney everything, and her mom says, yeah, we probably shouldn't tell her. What after they just said, well, look at Artist's parents, Courtney's mom said, Artist's parents didn't tell her, and look at how she's dealing with it. She's not dealing with it well. They need to come clean and tell, because they even promised no more secrets last season. So they need to do this soon. Otherwise, Courtney is not gonna trust him anymore. She's just gonna do her own stuff. And that's what's going to happen. Pat's either going to have to fall in line or just get out of the way. And you're frozen again.
No, I don't.
Yeah, you froze for a minute.
I'm frozen again?
It's like Florida's freezing over down there. With that being said, we're down to 4.
I don't think Florida's freezing over.
We're down to 4 people now. We've said everything we need to say.
What? All right, I'm trying to get it. Gratu says, I've been trying to spread the word of this brilliant show. Mm-hmm.
Right back to you, sir.
Marania's pointing out, hello to you, Marania, to contribute to the Ko-Fi. Yes, it helps us get books for a classic puppet theater. I already answered this. Mm-hmm. Yes. Eric Breen is actually in the show.
Yep, we addressed this earlier.
That's a secret. We didn't know. And he says sports ball is cool. All right. I think that about does it, though. I guess this is time to say goodbye. We enjoy the show. We really do. And we look forward to continuing it, seeing the next step.
We
really want to thank you for watching, putting up with our shenanigans.
Sir, you're freezing up. Let me do the outro, and then we'll just, when I say go, we go. All right. With that being said, since my partner over here is freezing up, thank you for watching. You're freezing up bad, bro. You're like stuck on 90s dial-up. Yeah. Anyway, for those who stuck along this far to listen to us ramble on about a show that we love, and the fact you're watching 2 puppets, we congratulate you for giving in to insanity, I guess, because we're puppets and we're listening to us talking about a show that's on the CW. For those who don't like the CW, I guess, for those who do like CW, like I said, you like what you like. We'll not ever criticize somebody who doesn't like something I don't like. No, unless it's popcorn. I don't like popcorn. But anyway, that being said, we thank you for being here, and we will see you, I guess, in an hour. Yeah, we're going to review some Supergirl, tonight's episode, and if we survive, we'll be here. All right. Thank you to everyone who showed up, and to all, a good night. Bye!